I never thought words could hit harder than actions, but that night proved me wrong. My name's Claire, I'm 32, and I thought I had everything under control. Our home, our kids, and the man I loved, or at least I thought I did. We'd been together for 8 years, married for 5, and I always believed that no matter what I said or did, Michael would stick around. I was wrong. Dead wrong. It all started on an ordinary Thursday evening. The kids were tucked into bed, their laughter still echoing faintly from the hallway. Michael and I were on the couch, a bottle of wine between us, the quiet hum of the television filling the space. Normally, these were our nights, the ones where we could talk, laugh, or simply exist in silence. But that night, I felt a restless energy, an urge to speak a truth I had held back for months. I looked at him and without thinking twice said it. You know, Michael, you're just the father of my kids. The words left my mouth casually, almost like a shrug, but the impact was instantaneous. I watched his face freeze as if someone had hit pause on a movie. His hands tightened around the glass and for a moment he didn't move or speak. My stomach twisted, the familiar warmth of our wine suddenly turning cold. I don't know what to say, he finally murmured, his voice low and steady, but there was a numbness there, a hollow quality I had never heard before. I tried to brush it off, laughing nervously. I didn't mean it like that. I mean, you know I love you. My words stumbled over themselves, desperate to fill the growing chasm between us. But Michael wasn't looking at me anymore. He wasn't angry in the way he had been during our fights. This was different. This was a quiet devastation, a slow retreat into himself. He got up, walked to the window and stared out at the night. The moonlight reflected faintly on his face, but it didn't soften the expression that chilled me to the bone. It's not just tonight, Claire, he said quietly. It's every time you make me feel like I'm not enough. Every time you reduce me to a role, a function rather than a person. I froze. I knew he meant it. I had pushed him down over the years with careless jokes, subtle digs about his career, his height, his temper, tiny cracks that added up until they became a chasm. And now, with one careless sentence, I had exposed the full depth of those cracks. Michael, I didn't mean it that way, I said, my voice cracking, but he shook his head. He turned to face me, and in his eyes, I saw something I had never seen before: clarity, finality, and an unyielding strength. Claire, it's not about the joke. It's about who I am and how I've been treated all these years. I'm tired of being just the father of your kids while you live like your heart belongs somewhere else. A shiver ran down my spine. The words were calm, almost gentle, but the weight behind them was crushing. I opened my mouth, wanting to argue, to laugh it off, to reach across the couch and grab his hand, but nothing came out. He had drawn a line, invisible but undeniable. He walked to the door, silently, deliberately. The sound of the knob turning felt like an echo of every careless word I had ever spoken to him. He paused for a fraction of a second, glanced at me, and without another word, walked out into the night. The door clicked shut behind him, and in that moment I felt the room shrink around me. My heart pounded, my hands shook, and I realized I had no idea if he was coming back. The next morning, the apartment was silent in a way I had never experienced. I made coffee, thinking maybe he had gone to the office early, that he would come back with a laugh, shrug, and everything would be okay again. But he didn't. He didn't appear at breakfast, didn't leave a note, didn't answer my texts. The numbness he had worn the night before had turned into a wall, an unyielding barrier that left me staring at my reflection in the window, wondering how I had let it come to this. Friends called, checked in, but I brushed them off. I couldn't bring myself to explain what had happened. How do you tell people that a single sentence, a truth spoken thoughtlessly, had shattered years of supposed security? That a man I thought would never leave could disappear from my life, leaving me alone with my guilt and the echo of my words?